And now, I don't think I know how to paint a gum tree anymore. I only know how to paint olive trees. I find that my painting is more successful when Crete is the subject. I guess because my heart's in it more. I just feel like that's where I belong. And I'd like to be there at every opportunity, which is why I've been there 3 times already. The bond has been there ever since, not just with the people, but with the island. I don't know, I just enjoy it. Yeah, it's just such a fascinating subject to paint. I mean, the colours, the rocks, everything. Here I sit surrounded by my Crete paintings. Mind you, they're like my children. I don't like it when one goes. Yes, it was a pilgrimage, and I've called it a pilgrimage to start with, going over to Crete the first time and following in his footsteps. We wanted to see the places where Dad had been and the actual terrain that they had to live in and endure in. I mean, my father had never seen snow. I started out doing it for him and wanting to understand him. It's told me a lot about his personality and character, that's for sure. It's like I feel closer to him than I ever did when he was alive, in a way. Sad, but there you have it. I couldn't get over the fact that, first and foremost, that they thought so much of my father. I wasn't fully aware of exactly what they went through in order to help him, and others like him. The enormity of it has been a gradual thing. It wasn't obvious on that first trip. Just so much there that can be told, and the character in their faces. They were strong, hard-working old Greek ladies, and they're not afraid to show their character either. They're not a bit conscious or aware of themselves at all. They are what they are. And I just find it really, really, I want to do it, and I find it easy to do, to strike up a rapport, especially with the older folk. And that's why I like the people in the villages more. They're the ones with the stories to tell of what they've been through and everything. But I really do love the old characters and their wicked, wicked, wicked sense of humour. Especially in the old Cretan men is just amazing. Amazing. Right up my tree. Yeah. I have done paintings from my own photographs taken when I was over there. This is the Crete Gorge down onto the beach. That's part of the Crete Gorge, and also that, and that's where my father spent a lot of his time, but it was also where they were rescued from when they were finally evacuated to come back to Australia, so they were very meaningful to me. This one down here was painted completely out of my head. It's completely made up. I'm not very good at that, nevertheless. This one here I'm particularly fond of and proud of, and that's my interpretation of the firing squad and the destruction of Custierico, the day the 3 villages were demolished by the Germans, with the Cretan fellows firing down on the Germans from the hills, and all the women and children. That's very much from my, not just from my heart, from my soul actually. My father would have died if it wasn't for Vardas Georgiakakis' family. Those that survived owe their survival to the help that was given to them during the German occupation. This is the room in the house where I feel closest to my father. When I came in 2010, this is where I was told my father slept, here on the floor with the Georgiakakis brothers. Yeah, there were 3 boys and 3 girls, I think. So there were 3 brothers plus my father slept here in this corner. And these would be all the original old beams. And over here in this corner, there is a trapdoor. When the German patrols were about, this was my father's way of escape up into the mountains. When they heard the German patrols were coming, Frank would run across the room, up through the trapdoor, over the wall outside and up into the mountains, and he wouldn't come back until he was given the all clear that it was safe. And one of Dad's favourite things to do, I'm led to believe, was when the old Vardas, when the dinner was being prepared, it was Dad's job to get the wine out of these barrels here. And Vardas would call out, "You get the wine, Frank." and have one yourself while you're there. And they tell me he did. It's not what I feel I owe them, it's what I know I owe them. I owe them my very existence. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have been born had they not saved my father's life. So you might say I owe them everything that I am. We've just come to the end of 4 days and 4 nights in Crete. Time to leave, and it's very sad to leave. The experience here, even though it's only been so short, has been absolutely marvellous. To meet all the people, to stay in the house where my father had slept, to spend time with all the dear old souls that still live in the village, even though we don't communicate very much, has been an experience that's way exceeded my expectations.